So the topic of this video would be collecting favors. It's one of those things that, as you're in the pro audio industry, you keep on helping people out. I mean, granted, you're supposed to get paid for your time, but there's so many times that you go above and beyond, and you don't make a dime from it, and you're saving your client. And I've done it a million times where I've saved clients from either money or a disaster of some kind, or their hard drive went down and I took a hard drive back to them. And they always, in the back of your mind, and they always tell you too, I owe you a favor. Whenever you need something, I'll let me know and I'll help you out. And I've never kind of collected on any of these favors. I mean, sometimes people will help me out, but I don't ask. And I remember this just happened recently. There was a band that I recorded in the 80s that put two mics up in the air and recorded them in Ardmore in Pennsylvania at one of the Chestnut, what was it called, the cabarets. It was a band called Honor Society. And I've listened to this tape a million times. It's just, there's something special about the performance from this. And I became good friends with the band, and they were kind of the next cutting edge band that was supposed to make it out of Philadelphia. The Hooters had just, got signed and they were doing great and all that. And the talk around town is this is the next band that's going to be big out of Philadelphia. So I recorded them, and like I said, became friends with them and heard their tape a million times, but slowly but surely they kind of petered out and nothing happened with them. But I always wondered about this band, and I found out that the singer went up to New York and he did some other projects, and then he went to Vietnam and he got married there, and I mean he was all over the place, and I always wondered what happened to it. And somebody finally connected me to him because he was an English teacher at a college in Delaware, and we were talking, and I said, I always listen to these tapes of yours, and he said, well, that's very nice. And I said, did you ever go into a studio and cut these? He said, no, we never had the money to do that. And I kept on, in this day and age, you take these recordings and you try to polish them up the best you can, but there was nothing I really could do to make them as great as I'd like to make them. So I kind of came up with this idea, and I mean, we're talking 35 years later. I'm talking to the lead singer of the band, and I said, would you guys ever put the band back together and record these songs that I've listened to a million times? And they said, yeah, George, we would do that if you could, help us out. So I called my friend Obie O'Brien, and this is where the collecting a favor. I called Obie O'Brien, and he has this fantastic studio with a SSL and just all the gear you can think of. And it's, he records Bon Jovi. He's Bon Jovi's right-hand man, but he records all kinds of stuff. And if you look up Obie O'Brien, he has his website, and it's the who's who of, in the audio industry he's recorded. So he's an incredible engineer. So I've done him a million favors, and I just asked him, I said, if I got this band together, would you record them? I'm looking to record 6 songs. He said, I'll do it for you, George. And it just kind of clicked in my head. Here's a guy that I asked if he would do a favor for me, and with no hesitation, he said, I'll do it. And it turned into like a few weeks of work, but he wanted to help me out. And the band went in there and they recorded, and Obie got me he mixed it and sent me the masters of what was done. And I just thought that was amazing that I could collect on a favor that I never collected on before. And especially somebody in Obie's position, it doesn't have to do anything for me, even though, I've helped him out. But we're more than just client, we're friends. And I just thought that was interesting. I'll see if I could maybe I can dig up one song that was done live and then put in Obie's version of the song so you guys could hear it. But the whole point of this video is collecting on favors. Sometimes you have this huge bank full of favors that you can collect on, and sometimes you can collect on them and sometimes you can't. And it's just an interesting industry. because some people are great about that. Some people, they can't remember your name.
Chaz Moline's on bass, Richie Rubini on drums. My name is Dean Wilson. We're Honor Society. It's a pleasure to be here. drives his car, he says I'm good. He's on the wire, he says I'm good, I'm good. So good. It's on the news, he says I'm good. He's on his porch, he says I'm good, I'm good. So good. In this world, this little world, we can talk about what we like. And in my house, my great big house, we're gonna talk about what I like. He takes his lunch, he says I'm good. He takes a drink, he says I'm good, I'm good. So good. He takes a walk, he says I'm good. He takes a smoke, he says I'm good, I'm good. So good. In this world, this little world, we'll talk about what we like. In my house, my pretty house, we're gonna talk about what I like. He takes a shower, he says I'm good. He takes his wife, he says I'm good, I'm good.